The impact of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms on Canadian society. A balanced evaluation. 1. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms enacted during 1982 as constitutional changes of the Canada has remained the significant principles of the Canadian standard legal and social framework of more than 4 decades. This change signaled a major social transformation in the area of civil liberties, rights, and the Canadian legal framework. As it has been argued by many that the Charter has unfolded a positive effect of bolstering the rights and freedom, efficiency of equality, and strengthening the rule of law, there are serious apprehensions that it has encouraged the judicial sovereignty and encroached upon democracy. Increases and reductions, or positive and negative gains, must be considered as they come into equal balance to determine its net effect or overall assessment. 2. Perhaps the most obvious and arguably the most significant of the Charter's impacts has been to improve the protection of persons' rights and liberties. It has enhanced ability of the citizens to sue laws as well as governmental activities that negate their freedoms. It will involve the use of other landmark cases such as *R. This can be easily witnessed from v. More gentler * 1988 case, in which the Supreme Court of Canada invalidates the restrictive laws on abortion, acknowledging the women's right to control their bodies. These decisions have not only protected individuals from government interference against their will but also made outstanding paving the way for other rights-based arguments. 3. The Charter has also played a key role in its consistent fight for equality in the Canadian society. One of the most significant means of addressing discrimination has been Section 15. equality before and under the law. Among others, the Vreen v. Alberta 1998, in which the court compelled Alberta to amend the ground of its human rights law to cover sexual orientation, is noteworthy in the struggle for LGBTQ+ rights. It also shows why the Charter is important and how it helps to advance the principles of social justice for the purpose of minority groups' capability of improving on their status. 4. A further recommendation of the Charter is that it restated commitment to the principles of judicial supremacy and rule of law. Through the provisions of Sections 2 and 7, it empowers the courts with the ability to annul laws that infringe on Charter rights, thereby placing government actions on check to ensure their actions are constitutional. This role can be easily illustrated by the reference Resecession of Quebec 1998 case, in which the Supreme Court explained the legal grounds upon which Quebec could pursue secession while stressing the importance of the recognition of constitutional law. This has been very helpful in solidifying the democratic important countries, since it ensures that governmental power is being used appropriately. 5. Inasmuch as it has been very laudable in most of its interventions, the Charter has received its share of criticism, especially on the issue of judicial activism. Opponents of the Charter claim that through the Charter, the courts have stretched their jurisdictions to include giving policies that should be the work of the people's representatives. This judicial activism is evident in areas where courts have deployed the Charter, given it quite an expansive meaning which tends to recognize new rights or expand existing ones. Critics argue that this reverses the democratic process and erodes the legal principle of parliamentary sovereignty, since members of the judiciary who have not been elected to Parliament make decisions with social and political consequences. 6. In conclusion, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms has influenced Canadian society in a positive way and has contributed to acknowledging the rights of the individual and the smaller society, as well as minorities in the bigger society, which has enhanced the protection of individual rights and freedoms. Positive changes on the representation of equality and enhanced institutionalization of the rule of law. However, concerns voiced over perceived judicial activism and marshalling of the judiciary into a politics case-making institution serve to point to important controversies and continuing issues. Nonetheless, it cannot be denied that the Charter has brought great improvement in the society through attaining just and fair society, and nevertheless, the aspect of its implementation and interpretation incites the debate on the factor of judicial power as well the element of democracy. In conclusion, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms is a progressive and timeless document that laid the foundation for change and serves as the standard for Canada's equality today.